All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the campaign kickoff of Kiyomi Kowalski for School Board for Las Virgenes Unified School District. My name is Deborah Klein Lopez. I am a city council member in Agora Hills, and I want to welcome you to tonight's event. We have a wonderful panel of speakers. We have three current school board members, Angela Cutbill, Mathy Wasserman, and Dallas Lawrence. But first, before we go to our speakers, I want to kick it off with the person you are here to hear from, Kiyomi Kowalski. Take it away.
Hi. I always do that. Hi. Matt, do you want to pin my pic? All right, so this is the family. As you can see, they're wild animals. You know me, many of you. My name is Kiyomi Kowalski. This is Moses and Teddy and Kennedy and David, my partner. And I'm here because I think we need new voices on the school board. I'm a mom and I'm a Marine and I'm an advocate for youth and families. And I am so excited to bring all of my advocacy skills and my work to this school board. I think we need it. And I think we'll hear from our, my potentially fellow board members tonight, and they'll tell you why they support this campaign.
Great. We'll come back and we'll hear from Kiyomi in a little bit. I know her family is squirmy on the couch, so they might go, right? But I do want us to start off with a few people who really know this job better than anyone else. What I'll do is I'll first introduce Mathy Wasserman. She is an incumbent, she is a current school board member who is not running for re-election and would love to see a certain someone fill the seat. So Mathy, why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself and tell us why you are here tonight and why you support Kiyomi. You're on mute, you're on mute. There you go.
There we go. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you, Deborah, for the introduction, and really a big thank you to Kiyomi, because when I was looking at making the tough decision not to run again, and I loved being on the school board, I have found it to be really vital work. I have been passionately involved with the committees that I've been on, and I have loved every minute of it. But as I looked to decide whether I could commit to the next 4 years or not, I looked around in the community for someone who really reflected what we need and what I felt were my values as well as the values of the community. And so I spoke with Kiyomi and asked her if she would consider running. And part of being on the school board is nurturing talent from the committees and from the district. Ms. Cutbill did that for me, as well as Ms. Stein, President Stein did that when I was considering running. And so for Kiyomi to do this, I'm thrilled. The value of really ensuring that our district represents a cultural proficiency is so important, and that every child is seen and heard. I know these are things that Kiyomi holds dear to her heart. And we've seen that in the things that she has committed to in her life, that she has dedicated her life story to self-improvement, to acceptance, and to inclusion. And I can't think of characteristics that are more important for someone to be a member of the school board. I think that she'll guarantee that our education system shows cultural responsibility, and that we continue. One of the committees I've been on is Committee for Community 360. And we have been working on cultural responsibility, social justice efforts. We've been working as well on, and many of the board members and many of the teachers, administrators, and staff members did a class this summer on social equity, and the idea of embracing a stronger message in our community about anti-racism, about acceptance, about understanding how sometimes for students, things that frankly, I learned so much about this summer as well, in terms of understanding microaggressions, in terms of students coming into the classroom and feeling like they can't be heard, or they're trying to be heard, and people are not hearing them. People are not listening to them. And I've always been a fighter for the underdog. I want to make sure that everybody has the options and opportunities in our district, and not just the top who can, afford it, or who can have, who have the benefits that not everybody has. So I know these are things that Kiyomi's passionate about, and it made me feel calmer about deciding not to run again, because I know that this is a baton that Kiyomi can pick up and run with. So I'm very proud of what you've done in your life and your dedication and persistence to be in this position. And I thank you.
Thank you, Mathy. Okay, there we go. I couldn't unmute myself there. All right, thank you, Mathy, so much. We're going to move next to Dallas Lawrence, who can also join in on why he's here tonight. Go ahead, Dallas.
Thanks so much. I'm thrilled to be here, thrilled to lend my voice to Kiyomi's campaign. I'll tell you, we've never faced a more unprecedented time in our school district, in our community, in our country right now. And having a leader like Kiyomi join the board is exactly what we need right now. Three things I would leave you with. The first is, I think it speaks volumes to Kiyomi's character that the three people that she ran against last have all endorsed her, and two of them are here tonight. And I think that speaks to how the type of politics, we hate to even think there's politics in a school board election, but it is a campaign and it is politics, but it speaks to the type of politics you want to see run today. Somebody who can have an argument, have a debate, but still have a relationship and share a passion for our kids. So I do think that speaks volumes to what she brings to the table as a leader today and in the future, someone who really shined and impressed everyone who had the chance to run with her. And see how the type of campaign she ran. I think the second thing I would say is, I really think about the three hallmarks that Kiyomi has highlighted of her resume: Marine, mom, and lawyer. And I couldn't think of a better time to have all three on the school board. A lawyer's perspective that thinks deeply about policy, that understands that the words and the rules that we pass matter and they have substance, and has that keen intellect to take a deep look at that is critical on a school board. Having a mom, especially a parent who has kids who have their entire LVUSD history in front of them, is incredibly important. Not only is Kiyomi passionate, but candidly, she's got skin in the game. And I think that's really important for us. I, as a parent that have three young kids in our schools, certainly feel that. All of our board members have had kids go through our schools. I'm sorry, you can hear my kids screaming in the back. I apologize for that.
Amazing prop. Great prop. Good job.
Literally like 2 doors away, but you can still hear them. So really thrilled to have a mom. And let's be honest, we need a Marine who can kick some butt. Some challenges, and that's from a former naval officer. I would say that proudly. Being on the school board is not easy. We have a lot of challenges. It is a thankless job, and some days you do it because you're passionate, because you love our school district, you love our kids. We have the most incredible teachers anywhere in the world. I would suggest staff are really caring every day. So we're very lucky. The last thing I would say is, it is a thankless job running for school board and running for local office. And I would implore all of you to do a couple things. If you believe in Kiyomi, write a check. Your voice is nice. Your dollars are more important right now. In this election cycle. If you can write $25, $50, yard signs cost like $3. Pay for 10 yard signs. This is the thing. There are no special interest groups writing school board candidates checks. We write this out of our own paycheck, out of our own pocket for most of us. I know every one of us who've run have spent thousands of dollars of our own money we've raised from our friends and family. That's how you do it. No developers are helping out in this race. So write Kiyomi a check. The second thing is, Like, this is going to be the most unprecedented, weird, wacky election we've ever had. We can't knock on doors, but we can make phone calls. We can write letters to the Acorn. Everyone here who cares, I see there are over 40 people on this line. There should be 5 letters to the Acorn every week heading into this election, helping Kiyomi out. And then lastly, for the love of God, vote. This community has a history of coming up this short on elections. In Calabasas, we had a city council race decided by a few dozen votes. We had our school board referendum fail by 100 votes. I won my first election by 70 votes. Literally every single vote matters. I know we hear that, but I'll tell you, if we had 100 more parents show up, our district would have $250 million more in revenue for our school facilities. But because 100 people in our community thought it was taken care of, they stayed home, and we are $250 million shorter for our community today. That's how important these elections are. So get 3 or 4 friends, call them, make sure they put in their ballots and they mail them to vote, but take nothing for granted this election cycle. With that, Kiyomi, best of luck. Turn it back over to our fantastic moderator, Ms. Lopez.
Thank you, Dallas.
Thank you. I could not agree more. Those are absolutely outstanding points. Next, it's really, truly an honor to introduce our next speaker, because she is not only someone who serves on the school board, but is someone who inspired me to run for office. And I know she has also inspired Kiyomi to run for office. And so it really is such an honor to introduce our final school board member here tonight, Angela Cutbill.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here and honored to be asked. You know, I did not really get to know Kiyomi well, although I was very impressed with her during the campaign 2 years ago until after. And I've come to know her and count her as a friend. And everyone tonight, I think, who's here knows that she will bring a voice that has to do with equity and cultural sensitivity and inclusion and greater strides that our district needs in those areas. But I want to highlight a couple of other things. One is her energy. I think you all can tell she's like the Energizer Bunny, right? And this is a huge job. It's a time-consuming job. There's when we're in school, there's schools to visit. There's committees we sit on. There's 4 cities that we represent. There's a lot of people to talk to and to meet and to keep up with. And I know she would bring like a jolt of energy that would be really, really welcomed on the board. The other thing is, Dallas and I talk about this. Yes, she has skin in the game with kids, but she has great perspective, because my view of that, my kids having grown, is that the community has skin in the game, in that good schools are important for these communities. They're important on a very practical level, on our home values and the quality of where we live. But on a more holistic reason, good schools are really the binding of a community and so important. And the great Pat Schultz told me one time that when you have kids in schools, as a school board member, it's a real easy thing to see the district then through the eyes of your kids. And when my last one graduated, I felt that I became sort of a better board member. That's me personally, because I felt I could really look back and embrace the district as a whole without the distractions of what you have naturally as a parent with kids in school. But when Kiyomi and I talk about a lot of issues, she already has big picture perspective. She thinks like a board member now. And it's a hard shift to make when you come onto the board. You've got all these cities, all these schools, they have microclimates of their culture, of what they value, what they teach. We try to honor the different programs throughout the district. And she's already got a great sensitivity to that. And we have just terrific conversations about everything, about how do we hire more administrators of color? How do we deal with things in the pandemic and getting back into school? She's interested, she's smart as a whip, and I think she will be a terrific addition to our school board. So as Dallas said, the hardest thing in a campaign is to ask for money, but donations are needed because everything costs, and you know, get out and vote. So thank you for having me tonight. I'm very, very excited about this campaign.
Thank you so much, Angela. All right. Thank you, Angela. And then I would just want to say a few words before I turn it over to Kiyomi. So I ran for the Agoura Hills City Council in 2018. So Kiyomi and I were on the campaign path together, and I didn't know her well. I was very focused in my race. After that, Kiyomi kept popping up. She kept popping up in my world. And one of the big things that really made me pay attention was that she went to a program called Emerge, which, if you haven't heard of, is a candidate training program for women. And if you care about making sure that women run for office, women are elected to office as their true, authentic selves, then that's what Emerge is all about. So once I heard that, I thought, I've got to get to know her better. So that's part of what happens in a campaign. And when you're sitting up on a dais, you, like the other school board members said, there's 4 cities, lots of different push-pull, and you have to be able to be authentic. And my dog is squeaking in the background, of course. You know, you have to be able to stand up and really be open and listen, but stop. But be able to, of course, he's going to do this at this minute. And that is actually what Emerge, it teaches you, but what that Kiyomi already has within her. She's not going to sell out. She's not going to, you know, really be pushed around. You can tell already that she knows what she stands for. None of my family's helping me out here. After she, oh my God, Fabricio, come get the dog. I'm so sorry, Kiyomi.
Apologize. This is awesome. Are you kidding me?
So this is live, right? This isn't taped. This is all
live.
great.
This is all live.
One of the things that everybody said to Kiyomi, because she did such a great job, was get as involved in the district as you can. Oh my gosh, she joined the PFC. She's on the curriculum council. She worked on the bond measure. She's on the anti-race task force. I think you can tell that she goes all in, and I know she would do so as a board member. You know, and she's the right candidate for the right time. She's smart as a whip, as you know. She's, you know, got her JD. She's got the heart of service. She's a Marine. I think that's one of the things that is most impressive to so many of us, is that she's here to serve. And, you know, she brings people together. She has more endorsements, I think, than either of the other 2 candidates, possibly including the incumbent. She has racked up endorsements from every city, from electeds, from community members. And it just goes to show that she's looked at as a leader. She's acting as a leader. We all want her to be a leader. And with that, I'm just so honored and proud to introduce my friend, Kiyomi, and I'm gonna go on mute now.
Thank you so much, all of you. I'm so humbled because you hear people talk about you, and I'm like, hey, that is me. I can't believe that is actually me, and I appreciate all of your support. It was really important that I have members of the school board here tonight to speak on my behalf. We have a lot of work to do, and the fact that we're going to do it together is really exciting. I'm talking about building the future together. And when I talk about that, I talk about relearning education. What are we learning in this moment that we can scale and take with us going past this pandemic? Because eventually we get back to classrooms, but there are things that are working right now. Just the fact that we can communicate this way is incredible. And it's something that our teachers should be able to access at all times, so that they are able to meet people where they're at. A lot of parents are unable to meet teachers in the classroom or go to the PFC meetings because they're working. This technology is an equalizer to access. And I think that we need to look forward and see what's working so that we can scale those things. I think we also need to expand the career training right now.
a lot of our kids are juniors and seniors, and they're potentially missing out on some critical time of learning really tangible work skills going into the workforce. And I think that's something that we need to bring to our school district online, especially. And community inclusion. I think almost everyone here knows this about me. I am an anti-racist social justice warrior, and I developed the anti-racism program at Valley Outreach Synagogue, and I've been on a synagogue speaking tour about anti-racism and activism in this way. And I think it's critical that we're really thoughtful in this school district about how we hire, and hiring specifically outside of the typical hiring pools that we pull from. And with that, supporting policies to where our the teachers that we do hire can afford to live in or near this community. That's going to be really necessary. I think we also, this 360 program is incredible, but we have to retool it for cultural competence. That's going to be really necessary because we are not currently meeting the very unique self-esteem needs of children of color and children of other in this community. I think we also need to think about our curriculum. And in this moment, we're not adopting any more curriculum, any new curriculum this year. So right now we're in the process of retooling Curriculum Council. I've been working with Ryan Gleason already ahead of being elected, and I will continue to, because I think it's important for this community. We need to make sure that that we look at our we look at our curriculum very critically and find ways to infuse multiple perspectives throughout the curriculum. And there's all types of ways to do that. And we're starting with the parents on Curriculum Council. So I'm really excited to help Ryan retool this. And then lastly, you can't run for office without talking about fiscal responsibility, which really means fiscal creativity in this moment. There are going to be budget cuts. These are really tough times, but we want to make sure that the cuts that we make don't further impact or marginalize the most potentially vulnerable in our school district. You can learn more about my campaign mission at KiyomiKowalski.com. That's Kiyomi, K-I-Y-O-M-I, Kowalski.com. And I would love to hear from you. I'm an open book. I would love to take any questions if anyone has them out there. And while we're waiting on questions, Matt, I would like to say some thank yous. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you who appeared on my behalf here tonight. It means so much to me, and having gotten to know you all in the last couple years since 2018, your mentorship and your kindness has been invaluable to me, and I am so appreciative. I really, truly look forward to working with you on the board. I have to thank my partner, David, and our kids who have been eating out of paper bags instead of a hot home cooked meal. Because Mama's running a campaign and an anti-racism task force and a sundry of other things. So I want to say thank you to them. And I want to say thank you also to my kitchen cabinet. So that's the small cabinet of people that advise me. Angela and Debbie happen to be on that cabinet. Dan Cooperberg, what's up, man? I see you out there. Stephanie Sauter, my good friend and mentor from way back from law school. She volunteered to be our treasurer, and April Powers, my advisor on equity and inclusion, because again, I have blind spots, I need advisors. And I also want to thank one of my best friends, Michelle, as a party. I have to say that all of the assets that you're seeing are developed by Michelle and directed by Michelle. So anything that you see that has this logo, she has directed the way that the campaign looks currently. And I will say this, that logo has been designed by a student
in Agora Hills, and he's pretty awesome. And I saw him on tonight. So I'm really proud of it. And speaking of those students who are working so hard, I have this amazing youth team, and you're not going to get on a campaign ever unless it's a grassroots campaign and they're going to say, hey, I need you to write policy. Hey, I need you to do policy research. And that is what these kids are doing. They research everything that I need from different statistics to what's going on in the world. So we have three teams that are incredible. We have the policy team, the Get Out the Vote team, and you'll be hearing more from them soon. And we have a social media team. They are incredible, and I want to name them by name, but I could not forget names, so I'm gonna have to read it. It's Asher, it's Emma, it's Lucy, Itai, Jake, Jessa, Marlo, Leah, Mia, Maya, Rafi, and Sienna. I want to thank you all for all of your hard work. You're incredible. And Micah is making it happen too, out there in Westlake Village. I also want to say thank you to Matt, who is running tech behind the scenes here. I appreciate him. So with that, look, I didn't want it to sound like a telethon, but I'll tell you, these campaigns don't run on hopes and dreams. I know Obama said it, but they really don't. They need money. And the fact is, look, nobody wants me shaking their hand or kissing their baby during a pandemic. So we need to get into their homes other ways, through mail. And it's really expensive. I need your help, and that I've got to crowdsource. I've got to crowdfund this campaign. Please consider a donation of any size at KiyomiKowalski.com. I would appreciate it. Again, hopes and dreams don't fill bank accounts so that I can write checks to win this thing, because we're gonna win this thing and we're gonna bring it home. So I want to say thank you all for coming and to support me here tonight, and good night. It's really awkward when like going live. Awkward. Hey Matt, where you at, bud? Take us out. Oh wow. Okay. Well, you guys, good luck.